The Indonesian Trade Union Confederation asks President Joko Widodo to fire the Minister of Manpower. President Joko Widodo promises to turn plastic waste into electricity. Good evening, it's Monday, Februari 14. Market Headlines is ready to provide you information from business and economic. And with me, Fajar Wayong, you're watching Market Headlines. And let's start Market Headlines. The Indonesian Trade Union Confederation firmly rejects the regulation regarding the disbursement of pension insurance funds, which can only be disbursed after the participant is 56 years old. The Confederation even asked President Joko Widodo to reprimand and fire the Minister of Manpower. The President of the Confederation of Indonesian Trade Unions, Said Iqbal, emphasized that all workers firmly reject the existence of the Manpower Ministerial Decree No. 2 of 2022, regarding the procedures and requirements for payment of the old age benefits, which are disbursed after the workers are 56 years old. In addition to rejecting this new rule, the workers asked the President to fire the Labor Minister Ida Fauzia.
Jangan terlalu kejam lah dengan buruh itu, Menteri Tenaga Kerja. Dan pemerintah, kami minta Bapak Presiden Jokowi menegur Menteri, ganti aja Menteri Tenaga Kerja itu. Dia menteri pengusaha, bukan menteri tenaga kerja. PHK itu masih tinggi angkanya. Nah, ketika ter-PHK, andalan para buruh adalah tabungan buruh sendiri yang kita kenal dengan JHT. Menteri ini tahu nggak kalau buruh di PHK pada saat kondisi sekarang, kemudian JHT-nya tidak bisa diambil karena harus menunggu usia pensiun 56 tahun. Terus makan apa buruhnya? Pekerjanya tuh makan apa? Oh, ada JKP, jaminan kehilangan pekerjaan. Tidak semua buruh akan mendapatkan JKP karena jaminan kehilangan pekerjaan belum bisa berjalan.
Said assessed that if this rule was implemented, it would make workers suffer even more, especially in the midst of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. From Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel. The government has officially implemented the implementation of community activity restrictions or PPKM Level 3 in areas such as Jabodetabek, Yogyakarta, Bali, and Bandung. Regarding this, the Association of Indonesian Shopping Center Managers assessed that the implementation of PPKM Level 3 can disrupt the positive trend of shopping centers that have been seen since August 2021. PPKM Level 3 has an impact on operating hours in shopping centers. The Association of Indonesian Shopping Center Managers assessed that PPKM Level 3 is considered better than closing shopping centers. So there is still hope for the retail sector to continue to rise during difficult times.
Bukan PPKM level 3, jadi saya kira ini kondisinya jauh lebih baik daripada penutupan operasional ya, penutupan operasional pada saat varian Delta. Pada saat varian Delta tahun 2021 yang lalu itu kan penutupan operasional sementara waktu. Kalau sekarang ini kan pemerintah baru memberlakukan PPKM level 3. Jadi saya kira seharusnya ini menjadi tidak seberat seperti pada saat penutupan operasional pada saat varian Delta. Nah, yang jadi masalah adalah mudah-mudahan pemberlakuan level 3 ini.
Until Februari 8th, Bank Indonesia reported that it had purchased government securities in the primary market reaching 3.96 trillion rupiah. The Governor of Bank Indonesia ensures that this policy will encourage more conducive economic recovery efforts until the end of 2022. Bank Indonesia ensures that it continues to carry out its commitment to become a standby buyer for state securities issuance. The purchase is part of the central bank's efforts to share the burden with the government in recovering the economy from the pandemic. The Governor of Bank Indonesia, Periwarjo, explained that purchases through the main auction mechanism were carried out in accordance with a joint decision by the Minister of Finance and the Governor of Bank Indonesia, which was valid until December 31st, 2022. This was to ensure faster recovery in the pandemic handling sector.
Sejalan dengan dampak sinergi kebijakan Bank Indonesia dengan pemerintah dalam mendukung pemulihan ekonomi nasional. Bank Indonesia telah menambah likuiditas atau kuantitatif easing di perbankan sebesar 10,34 triliun pada tahun 2022 hingga 8 Februari 2022. Bank Indonesia juga melanjutkan pemberian SPN di pasar perdana untuk pendanaan APBN tahun 2022 sebesar 3,56 triliun rupiah hingga 8 Februari 2022 melalui mekanisme lelang.
In addition to purchasing state securities, Bank Indonesia also increases liquidity in the banking system. Until February 8, 2022, Bank Indonesia has added liquidity by 10.34 trillion rupiah. Peri ensured that banking liquidity conditions remain loose to support the economic recovery. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel. And we're moving on to global update. Australia said on Sunday it was evacuating its embassy in Kiev. Meanwhile, Justin Trudeau promised quick action in response to the so-called Freedom Convoy blockading a key border. More stories on today's International Minute. Australia said on Sunday it was evacuating its embassy in Kiev as the situation on the Russia-Ukraine border deteriorated quickly, with Prime Minister Scott Morrison calling on China to not remain chillingly silent on the crisis. The United States and Europe stepped up their warnings of an imminent attack by Russia on Ukraine, while the Kremlin, jostling for more influence in post-Cold War Europe, rejected a joint EU-NATO diplomatic response to its demands to reduce tensions as disrespectful. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau promised quick action in response to the so-called Freedom Convoy blockading a key border crossing on the Michigan border, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Friday. The commitment came during a Friday call between Trudeau and President Biden over ongoing protests against Canada's COVID-19 restrictions. Psaki said that the two leaders agreed that the actions of the individuals who are obstructing travel and commerce between two countries are having significant direct impacts on citizens' lives and livelihoods. Heavy snow has caused major disruption to the Winter Olympic schedule, with temperatures set to plummet below -22 degrees Celsius at the Beijing Games. Several ski slope-style events had to be pushed back a day because of the conditions at the Genting Snow Park. The women's free ski qualifications were postponed on Sunday because of heavy snow and poor visibility. Difficult conditions at the alpine skiing meant 33 of the 87 men's giant slalom starters were unable to finish. The UK economy rebounded last year with growth of 7.5% despite falling back in December due to Omicron restrictions, official figures show. It was the fastest pace of growth since 1941, although it came after a dramatic 9.4% collapse in 2020 as the pandemic forced parts of the economy to shut. In December, the economy shrank 0.2% as Omicron restrictions hit the hospitality and retail sectors. Chancellor Rishi Sunak said the economy had been remarkably resilient. IDX Channel report. Krakatau Steel President Director expelled during a hearing meeting. Market headlines will be right back.
Kini aplikasi mClears hadir di handphone Anda untuk memudahkan transaksi Anda. Informasi aktivitas clearing dan penjaminan tidak lagi hanya dapat diakses melalui komputer di kantor Anda, melainkan dapat diakses di mana saja dan kapan saja dalam genggaman Anda. Fitur-fitur mClears. Equity clearing dan settlement adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi kewajiban settlement anggota clearing hingga nilai alternate case settlement serta informasi gagal bayar. Risk management adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, kolateral, MKBD, portofolio harian, risk charge anggota clearing dan kombinasi, serta nilai minimum cash collateral. Derivatif adalah fitur di mana Anda dapat melihat posisi trading limit, margin call, dan informasi clearing derivatif. Terkait pinjam-meminjam efek, terdapat fitur mengenai borrowing information dan lendable pool information, serta lending revenue dan borrowing fee. Serta menu lain yang menampilkan informasi mengenai haircut, risk charge saham, dan nilai harga penyelesaian harian dan harga penyelesaian final. Selain itu, Anda juga dapat mengakses fitur pengumuman, peraturan, dan informasi layanan KPEI pada aplikasi mClears. Download aplikasi mClears di App Store atau Google Play Store. Lakukan registrasi user Anda dengan menggunakan alamat email berdomain resmi yang sesuai dengan anggota clearing Anda. Setelah registrasi, Anda akan diberikan kode OTP di email Anda untuk verifikasi, dan aplikasi mClears Anda siap untuk digunakan. Anda dapat mengakses seluruh menu pada aplikasi mClears dengan melakukan aktivasi berlangganan premium yang dapat dilakukan dengan memilih menu Get Premium. Download aplikasinya sekarang, lakukan registrasi, dan dapatkan kemudahan dalam genggaman tangan Anda. Kemudahan informasi KPEI dalam genggaman Anda.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. The President Director of Krakatau Steel, Silmi Karim, was expelled by Commission 7 of the House of Representatives during a hearing meeting. Silmi Karim was expelled directly by the Deputy Chairman of Commission 7 of the House of Representatives, Bambang Haryadi, for interrupting the discussion regarding Krakatau Steel's blast furnace. Bambang initially admitted that he was confused by Krakatau Steel's policy regarding blast furnaces. This is because, according to Bambang, the President Director of Krakatau Steel wants to stop the operation of the blast furnace factory, but also wants to strengthen domestic steel production. In addition, Bambang alluded to the steel case that was already rolling in the police that dragged the company Kimim Tanoto, who is a member of the Indonesian Iron and Steel Industry Association, led by Silmi Karim.
Baja yang ada di Polda Metro sampai sekarang kita akan minta kejelasannya. Itu salah satu anggota Anda, namanya Kimin Tanoto.
Sini saya sebagai dirut Krakatau Steel, bukan sebagai ketua IIC ya.
Anda tolong ini dulu, hormati persidangan ini. Ada teknis persidangan.
At the One Ocean Summit, President Joko Widodo promised to reduce plastic waste by 70% by 2025. To achieve this, the government has prepared a number of strategies, including operating waste-based power plants. President Joko Widodo promised to reduce plastic waste by 70% by 2025. This was conveyed when attending the One Ocean Summit France virtually. In order to make this happen, the Indonesian government has prepared a number of strategies, including making an action plan for handling marine plastic waste and operating waste-based power plants.
Kami optimis komitmen kami di tahun 2030 bisa terpenuhi. Kami juga berkomitmen untuk mengurangi 70% sampah plastik laut pada tahun 2025. Berbagai upaya terus dijalankan, mulai dari rencana aksi penanganan sampah plastik laut, hingga pembangunan pembangkit listrik berbahan baku sampah yang mengkonversi 1.000 ton sampah per hari menjadi 10 megawatt listrik.
The President said that during the G20 presidency, Indonesia would also emphasize the importance of strengthening the blue economy, blue carbon, and handling marine debris. Therefore, Indonesia is also ready to partner with all parties to create a sustainable marine ecosystem. Blue economy is the concept of optimizing aquatic resources to increase economic growth through various innovative activities while ensuring business sustainability and environmental sustainability. IDX Channel reports. The Ministry of Health reported that it had not paid the COVID-19 claim bill of 25.1 trillion rupiah to a number of hospitals in Indonesia throughout 2021. The Director of Referral Health Services at the Ministry of Health, Siti Halimah, detailed that from around 90.2 trillion rupiah, as much as 2.42 trillion rupiah could not be paid because it expired or did not meet administrative requirements, where the remaining claims that can be paid by the Ministry of Health reached 87.78 trillion rupiah. Meanwhile, the government is still giving until Februari 28, 2022 for the hospital to claim the cost of treating COVID-19 patients.
Memang sudah mulai antisipasi terkait dengan batas waktu pengajuan klaim. Kemudian dispute yang tidak dapat dibayarkan itu 1,74 triliun. Ini juga relatif lebih sedikit dibandingkan dengan tahun 2020 secara persentase karena rumah sakit juga sudah mulai memahami bagaimana mereka mengajukan klaim sehingga tidak dinyatakan dispute. Jadi yang bisa dibayarkan itu 87,78 triliun, yang sudah kami bayarkan itu sebesar 62,68 triliun, sehingga yang belum kami bayarkan adalah 25,1 triliun.
The Ministry of Transportation is committed to continuing to encourage efforts to accelerate the transition to environmentally friendly transportation, one of which is through the policy of developing battery-based electric vehicles as an effort to massively reduce carbon emissions. The Ministry of Transportation continues to encourage efforts to accelerate the transition from using fossil fuel vehicles to electric vehicles that are more environmentally friendly. Minister of Transportation Budi Karya Sumadi say that the mass use of electric vehicles is one of the government's efforts to reduce carbon emissions in the transportation sector. This effort is even considered significant in helping to overcome the problem of climate change and global warming.
Bicara tentang legislasi merupakan satu yang paling signifikan. Bahkan Presiden sudah membuat perpres tentang percepatannya dan program bermotor listrik berbasis baterai untuk transportasi jalan sudah kita buat turunan-turunannya. Kementerian Perhubungan terus berkomitmen untuk mendorong penggunaan kendaraan listrik dan saat ini juga sudah dibuat roadmap.
The government continues to be committed to addressing climate change and reducing emissions in the transportation sector. One of them is the issuance of Presidential Decree number 55 of 2019 concerning the acceleration of the battery-based electric vehicle program. IDX Channel reports. Siloam to conduct 1 to 8 stock split. Stay with us, Market Headlines will be back.
Awali hari Anda dengan informasi dunia ekonomi yang diulas dari berbagai sudut pandang. Power Breakfast, Senin sampai Jumat, pukul 8.00, hanya di IDX Channel.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
You're watching market headlines. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,791.32. And then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 6,724.34. And then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,734.49. And in short, Jakarta Composite Index went down 1.18%. And next we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got energy as the leader of strengthening trend that went up 1.48%. Transportation and logistics went down 3.07%. Technology went down 2.59%. And basic went down 1.96%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Adaro went up 2.76% to the level of 2,230 rupiah per share. Aneka Tambang went up 2.44% to the level of 1,890 rupiah per share. CPRO went up 3.92% to the level of 106 rupiah per share, while BRMS went up 3.47% to the level of 149 rupiah per share. And meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Arto went down 5.35% to the level of 14,150 rupiah per share. Bank Rakyat Indonesia went down 0.9% to the level of 4,410 rupiah per share. Telkom Indonesia went down 1.12% to the level of 4,400 rupiah. And Bank Sentral Asia went down 1.6% to the level of 7,700 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,359 rupiah, showing strengthening trend towards US dollar, and it was closed at the level of 14,288. And in summary, rupiah went up 0.66%. To increase the liquidity of the company's stock trading on the Indonesia Stock Exchange, Siloam International Hospitals will split the nominal value of the company's shares, or stock split, with a ratio of 1:8. The hospital issuer, Siloam International Hospitals, will split the nominal value of the company's shares, or stock split, with a ratio of 1:8. Citing the company's disclosure of information, the issuer, codenamed Silo, will split its shares in a ratio of 1:8, so that the shares which previously had a nominal value of 100 rupiah per share to 12.5 rupiah per share. Thus, the number of outstanding shares will increase to 13 billion shares after the exercise, compared to the number of shares before the exercise of 1.62 billion shares. This stock split aims to increase the liquidity of the company's stock trading on the Indonesia Stock Exchange. In accordance with the company's articles of association, this stock split plan will first be approved by the company's extraordinary general meeting of shareholders, which is planned to be held on 22nd March 2022. IDX Channel reports. Mahaka Media is targeting to raise 117.11 billion rupiah through rights issue. Based on the prospectus, the company offered up to 1.18 billion new shares, or 30% of the issued and fully paid capital in this right issue. The exercise price is 150 rupiah per share. The rights will be distributed to the company shareholders who are registered in the company shareholder register on February 21st, 2022, in which each owner of the company's old shares will receive 3 rights beyond media as the company's main shareholder, representing 57.8% of the total issued and fully paid capital, will receive 682.64 million rights in accordance with a portion of each share ownership. Based on the statement letter, December 1st, 2021, Beyond Media stated that it would not exercise all of its rights and would transfer its preemptive rights to Solid Kreasi Baru. It is planned that 30% of the funds raised will be used for working capital and 70% for investment in the digital technology sector. Waskita Karya announced the provision of a 6.42 trillion rupiah loan facility for its subsidiary, Waskita Toll Road. With this loan, Waskita Toll Road is expected to maximize its business performance. Waskita Karya announced the provision of a 6.42 trillion rupiah loan facility for its subsidiary, Waskita Toll Road. Based on the disclosure of information, the interest on the loan facility was agreed at 8% per year of the total drawn facility. The term of the loan facility is valid until December 31, 2025 at the latest. In the explanation, Waskita Karya's management stated that the need for a capital deposit was the main consideration for the issuance of this facility. They are optimistic that toll road construction activities this year will increase, and therefore lending to subsidiaries is considered important. With this loan, Waskita Toll Road is expected to maximize its business performance and is expected to provide added value for the company as a shareholder of Waskita Toll Road. IDX Channel reports. And that's all for today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. I'm Fajar Wayong. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
PT Adaro Mineral Indonesia Tbk.
Informasi penutupan pasar saham terbaru hari ini.
Harga penawaran umum perdana saham atau IPO. Bagaimana Anda melihat
diulas secara interaktif bersama pemirsa di rumah, juga para analis terpercaya.
Sebenarnya posisi ISG sebenarnya sudah masih dalam tren yang sideways. Sepekan ke depan saya pikir potensi di untuk sampai
Second session closing
6.600 itu sangat
Senin sampai Jumat pukul 15.00 hanya di IDX Channel.